Welcome to the Salt Circle Podcast. My name is Hank. With me is Ben.
Yeah. No title, huh?
Nah. No. I couldn't think of one.
Wow. In that nice pause we just had, did you hear any vents at all?
No, I didn't.
Sick. I don't see anything on Audacity, so I think it's quiet. Because I am in my bedroom, but I am now, instead of being on top of the vent, I am like 6 feet away. So
Yeah.
we should be good.
Just have to just double check the audio. That's probably something you can clean up.
Oh, yeah.
A
It's
little bit of a thing.
nice and quiet, yeah.
Anyway, we're here because I watched a bunch of Clone Wars.
The film? The Clone Wars film?
No, not that one.
Wow. Fake fan.
I watched I didn't watch most of seasons 1 through 4.
Yeah, you watched like 5 through
or
7.
most of 5. I've touched like
back
the end
half.
of 5
Yeah.
through the end. Or I watched through 5. I watched all of 6, which is like a fake half season of just the stuff they had done when Disney canceled them.
Mm-hmm.
They got put on Netflix, and then I watched in season 7, and I also watched the Gendy 2003 Clone Wars after the fact, just for fun, because that's like 2 hours.
Yeah, and that's one maybe we'll talk more in depth about at some point, because I have not watched that.
Yeah, sure. I won't talk about it much. It's
I know.
hype.
Yeah, I know it exists. I know it's like good.
Yeah,
Just
because it's
styled.
all and at first it's just like 2 to 5 minute shorts that are running like between other shows, so it's just banging action for the whole time.
Yeah,
Like there's no story to it. There's like an overarching story, but there's not like character stuff.
yeah.
And the voice acting's way worse than later Clone Wars, I will say.
Yeah.
Even when you get fucking Azula's voice actress as playing Padme, and even she sounds a little flat. I'm like, I fucking know you're good.
No, that's
You still sound a little weird.
who was George Lucas doing that one? Or was that different people? Because I know he was behind Clone Wars, but I don't know about that one. That version of Clone Wars.
I mean, I'm sure he gave them notes and stuff, but
like too expressive.
It's animation driven. Well, no, it's so action focused, right?
Yeah,
like it's like Samurai. It's the guy who made Samurai Jack, but it's all action. It's like storyboard animation first.
Yeah, sure.
But like, it's it starts with a mission to fucking take out the banking clan. Like, it's still fucking George Lucas shit.
Yeah.
The Muons are fucking right there.
Yeah.
Like it is George in that way, in which he is referencing his old adventure serial stuff that he likes, that is fucking was like occasionally turbo racist. And so there's just like, still echoes of that.
Yeah.
It's just referencing stuff that's like there's like there's so much encountering a primitive people who don't speak common.
Yeah. Dude, that's people,
and that's across both Clone Wars.
dude. someone was talking, this was ages ago now, because I didn't rewatch anything for this.
Yeah.
Hank's just you've been telling me now and again, because you watched or you listened to a podcast that was going through it, the big series.
They got they got through the stuff. It was like, I don't know, like 3 years ago or something. At this point, they were like, this is the episodes. These are good. And I was like, all right, I'm not gonna listen to this podcast. I'm gonna put it on the back burner, and I'm gonna watch Clone Wars. And like, it took me, years to feel up to doing it, but I finally got there.
Hell yeah.
And that podcast, like, then like did other stuff. Like they played, like this was before the strike, so like they switched over to like playing video games during the writer's strike and stuff, and I was like following along.
Nice.
They were doing and they did the Thrawn trilogy, and I listened to that stuff.
Hell yeah, dude.
But I hadn't gone back to their Clone Wars
Yeah, my
thoughts. And they've been doing Rebels, and I haven't listened to any of the Rebels stuff either. So that's like I'm gonna start listening to that and kind of play it by ear for when I'm for jumping on that too. It's just a lot.
Yeah.
Like part of what was good about this was like, okay, I'm just watching this one arc of Clone Wars, right? Mm-hmm. And I watched like one episode. I'm like, banger. I like a couple days later, I watched another episode, banger, and I finished it off. Like a couple weeks later or whatever, and then I'm in, and I watched the Ahsoka arc, and I'm like, okay, I'm fucking in, and then I just like poured through the rest.
Hell yeah, dude.
Like it just got me in, and then I'm like, okay, I finished season 5. I'm doing season 6. That's like it's a shorter season. It's like 3 stories or whatever. It's like 4 stories. One of them is only 1 episode.
Yeah.
Bang through that, and then season 7, gotta do that. Just because I wanted to see that ending, because I knew that ending was good.
The basically a film at the end that
Yeah,
they put
yeah,
clear money into.
Yeah, because the other 2 story arcs in that 7th season were just old Clone Wars stuff they didn't get to finish, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then that movie was basically the new thing for them, I think, is my understanding.
I'd buy it.
But yeah, and like I'd like, you know, again, I'd been listening to this Clone Wars recap podcast as they went through the whole show, so I know a lot about it. I only like watched like the full episode arc I watched was the Zillo Beast, because it's like there's a Godzilla monster that knows Palpatine's evil. And it's just fucking trying to kill him, and everyone's like trying to save Palpatine. And fucking you get Palpatine riding on R2-D2.
Yeah.
R2-D2 gives Palpatine a little ride, and it's fucking cursed. It shouldn't happen.
There's a lot of cursed shit in this show.
So, and like I knew I didn't like how it looked.
That
Like the big
Jar Jar
thing,
ship.
Big thing with coming in on when they said, okay, now it's good. Which they had built, like people say season 5, that's where it gets good. And they were like, before the Darth Maul arc, like they were at their low point with the show, because like the 7 episodes before that are like about younglings and D Squad. And it was just like nonsense or whatever. And like D Squad is like a group of droids. I forget there's like this little dude who's like running them, but R2's there.
I couldn't fucking tell you, man. It's been way too long for that shit. And see,
Clone Wars. So it had like an okay opening with like because there's Maul Savage stuff at the very beginning that I haven't seen, and they were like, yeah, it was okay. And then there was D Squad stuff which was miserable. And then it was like you should watch these episodes. You should watch them. And I watched them, and they're good. That Maul arc of like him like building a crime empire with the help of Pre Vizsla and the Mandalorians, like that shit's just good. It's
cool. Also, his voice
it definitely
actor
puts a lot of
insane.
It puts particularly yeah, Maul's voice actor is very good. It's very funny that Pre Vizsla is voiced by Jon Favreau. Given what Favreau goes on to work on, and he's a weird choice for that character. But like that arc really puts to shame Book of Boba Fett specifically. Because Book of Boba Fett is also about like a character like becoming a crime boss, and it's so much more dog shit. It's very funny. Like Boba Fett is just that show does not have it, but that arc of Darth Maul does have it. Although I will say, having watched it, that Clone Wars, that Darth Maul comic we read, that's like doing an arc that they didn't get to do for season 6, like those 4 episodes. That comic is dog shit. It's just a rerun. Like, they just do the same story again. He gets owned by Palpatine at the end all over again.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird that that's how that, like, the only thing that's in that is like the revelation that what's her face is Darth Maul's mom.
The Night Sister, whoever.
Yeah. What's her fucking name? But other than that, there's like nothing in that story that matters, and it's so much just doing the thing again but not as good. It wasn't as good. That episode was where the fire was. It's weird.
Yeah. No, I'll like that comic was like whatever.
Mother Talzin, that's her name.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, you get like fucking Darth Maul, like and part of what makes it so cool watching Maul like just go into these crime syndicates and just fucking take over them is that like you can imagine this is like what Sheev Palpatine was up to like in the past. Like, he learned this stuff from Palpatine. So you're like, this is like the closest, like, how does a Sith fucking build his power base or whatever?
Yeah.
I think
man.
that's
Conquest.
That's interesting. Yeah. It is funny how this show just gave Darth Maul a personality that was not, he did not have.
Well,
even an iota of in the movie.
See,
and even like earlier in the show, he was not this character. When he had like spider legs or whatever, he was like living in a cave.
Oh, you mean Peak? You mean Peak Maul?
But just like a different character. Like, that's one of the things with like Clone Wars up until this point is like it wasn't really serialized. Like, a new episode would always start and it was kind of like a fresh page. Like, this story with Maul and Death Watch is kind of like the first time they're like, all right, we're paying off characters we've set up before and moving things forward. And then like things are happening. Like Satine dies. Like, this shit matters. Shit happens. Whereas like a lot of Clone Wars is like, this adventure happens and none of it mattered. Like, and there are just like a lot of the characters that like don't like from listening to the podcast, like Hondo is just a character that like anytime he shows up, you don't know who he is. Like, he just has they characterize him just very differently for episode to episode because they're just using him as like a piece for whatever story they feel like telling.
Yeah, but
rather
he's
than,
fun.
Like, treating it as like a thing that then
but
people
he's
remember.
Fun.
And like,
I remember Hondo.
But his like relationship with the characters, it's like people don't hold a grudge against him or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and like part of what's interesting to me about Clone Wars is it existing as like history that George wrote, and now you're making this show out of it. And like the thing that makes the end of Clone Wars good to me is they got much better at making that show. Just like their ability to make the TV got way better.
Yeah.
Like it looks better. The characters, like they feels like they have a stronger grasp on the characters and like what like centers them, and so like where they can push them. But mostly it's just like it just looks better. And like the action is really good. Like the fights in the Darth Maul arc were like fucking good. Like the Darksaber just looks way better than it looked before.
Oh, the Darksaber, yeah.
So mostly it's just like, oh, they got fucking good at this. And like by the time of you're watching the fucking end of season 7, you're just like, this is fucking good. This is like really good because it looks, it has the thing I want from Star Wars visually where everything's fucking scuffed and dirty. It looks so much better than any of the prequel movies because they've like the rendering technology could like do dirt and filth. And like the story has moved into the part of like where the war's been going on, so everyone is full of dirt and filth because they've just like been hammered for years or whatever. Like they've just been doing this a long time.
Yeah, I mean they clearly put
it's just like a
so much
aesthetic
into the end of 7, like far more than anything else.
I kind of think of it as its own thing because
it really is.
So it's like this is the Clone Wars. This is their second shot at a Clone Wars movie.
The music is like notably better and different and coherent. Like the whole package is just crazy.
Yeah.
I watched Clone Wars in a very different way than fake fan Hank did.
Sure.
I went to Clone Wars the film in theaters.
Oh hell yeah.
My friend was like so mad.
Hell yeah.
Understandably, like he had such a bad time. I came out, I was like, that was neat. That was a neat time. Whatever. And he was just pissed. He was so angry.
If I had gone to see it in theaters, that would have been me.
I was totally fine with it. And then I kind of like, I didn't do anything. Like I didn't watch it I didn't have the means to watch it on TV. I watched it way after the fact. Before, I don't know how long ago that fucking was. It was on Netflix. It was before 7 came out. Did they even have season? I don't know.
Season 6 was like dumped all at once when they made the Netflix deal. It was like part of it.
Yeah. Man, did I watch it on Netflix?
Or did you watch it on like iTunes or something?
No, I might. Well, I'm wondering if maybe I watched it just before that, and then I watched like season 6 on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It's been. I mean, either way, it's been long enough ago that like that's the shit we're dealing with. So it's not like I watched it week to week or anything. I did get to just watch it, but it was such brain off TV for me. Like. Sure. I watched, like, I had a fine time in season 1 and 2. Like, now, can I fucking tell you anything that happened in those seasons? No. Not a single thing. But, like, watching it while playing Pokemon or whatever. Totally fine. Very happy. Some of the Youngling episodes I did like because one of the episodes they made lightsabers, and that was, like, top 10 coolest things. Fucking finally. Food.
Sure. Ben, there's a shot in old Clone Wars of I think it's Barriss putting together her lightsaber. Like the pieces are all like
hell yeah
apart by the Force and like slots them together.
Yeah, man. That's the thing. That's the deal. That's like that's part of why the Ahsoka novel is top tier. Cuz like
sure.
It's not hidden. It's not like any reasonable. I guess it is like you could read it as a much younger person, and maybe you'd be like, "Holy shit, I didn't get it." But like any adult is gonna be like, "Oh, okay." Throughout the entire book, she's like picking up little chunks of fucking metal, or like bits, baubles and gears and shit, whatever. And then like it all comes together like that. Like just not thinking about it. She's not doing it like actively. She just like feels the need to pick up this thing and put it in her bag or whatever. And then at the end she realizes like this is her thing and it's fucking cool.
Sure.
And honestly, Ahsoka is like that's what we get out of this show. For me, like easily the best thing to come out of it.
Yeah, and she's a character that has like a full arc.
Yeah,
like, she has character growth,
dude, and
like
that's
early on. She's like the little kid who's always fucking wrong.
Dude, and seeing that is so
By the end,
fucking cool.
She's the fucking coolest.
Yeah, like and that's like, I mean, that's the juice in Rebels, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I will say one of the frustrating parts is like Clone Wars is so like scattershot with the like not being like serialized enough IMO thing, where like you do kind of feel like, oh, we've come into this arc and now Ahsoka's a person. Like now it's just happened off screen. Like you don't exactly get it in the way I would ideally want it to be on screen.
I guess.
I feel like
there was I don't know. It's hard for me to think about it because like at this point it's distant memories. Like I remember that transition, but at this point I've been dwelling on that transition probably more than the transition happened. So if I watched it again, I'd probably feel similarly.
It's also wild. Like she quits the Jedi at the end of, or she doesn't like rejoin the Jedi after they kicked her out at the end of season 5, and then she's just not in 6.
Yeah,
She's
see,
in,
I
like,
forgot
one
that
vision
entirely.
Yoda has, and it's just a whole season. Again, it's like only like 4 stories. That she's just not in. She's not, and like the part of what's cool about it is like you have to like read in that her absence is important. Although hilariously, the only time that Anakin like fucking talks about it is in an episode that didn't get finished, but like it's one of the ones that you can watch the like animatic for.
Yep.
The unfinished, like it's the unfinished animation that was like the early shit they would show George.
Yeah.
So you could make notes or whatever. But it has voice acting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched those.
Yeah. And that has like the conversation with like Anakin going, we should call Ahsoka, and then him realize, oh wait, no, I'm sorry, she's and him and Obi-Wan like having the talk about it. It's really fucking good, but it like doesn't exist. It's very funny. Because like that's like the big one that they didn't make into anything else. Partly because they thought the voice acting for it was so good, so they didn't want to make it like a comic. But they should have done something with it other than just leaving it as the unfinished animatics, where people T-pose or whatever.
Yeah. Serious conversation about your apprentice that was falsely accused and bailed. Your T-posing
about like the main character of the show.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Like, it's very funny. Yeah, but like another testament to just they got better at making that show is in season 6. They made Jar Jar Binks episodes that didn't make me want to tear my skull out. I still don't think they're like not really worth watching, but like they're just, the show is so much better at being TV that I was fine. I watched them. You have to see Jar Jar make out with his girlfriend.
Oh, finally.
Jar Jar is the best partner in all of Star Wars. That was the healthiest relationship that has been depicted.
Yeah, I'd buy it. That tracks.
And Mace Windu's a fucking clown in that episode.
Dude, it's so fucking weird.
Like they're like, wait outside. He like tries to walk in after them. Like, what are you fucking doing? You're banned because we think of the Jedi as child kidnappers. Fucking calm down, buddy.
Yeah.
You're only here because Jar Jar vouches for you.
Yeah. No, there was some weird...
And that's like the first Jar Jar thing I've seen where Jar Jar... It didn't feel like Jar Jar was completely out of control of his own body. Like,
yeah, just like a puppet.
Because like in the movies, or in Phantom Menace, like he's so clumsy. It's like he's a fucking danger to himself. He's
that's why he got fucking banished, dude.
It goes so out of their way for him to be a fucking menace that like they needed to. It's like just baffling that Qui-Gon takes him with them.
But the kids love Jar Jar. He's the key to all of this.
That's what George believed.
Yeah, that's the quote.
Unfortunately, I was too old.
See, I don't know who's out. Like, I think I was too old, dude, and I was like 5.
Yeah.
I think you have to be real fucking young, because like my takeaway from episode 1 was the Naboo starfighters and pod racers, like, which are just those were hugely influential on like ship designs that I like. I don't know who's out here liking Jar Jar. Like, I didn't mind him. I thought he was an acceptable part of the movie, but I wasn't like, holy shit, it's my favorite guy. That's Darth Maul. 2 lightsabers, Hank. 2. It has 2, one on each end. You also mentioned that in
4 words of dialogue.
You also mentioned that in Clone Wars. You said like everybody has 2 lightsabers or whatever.
Well, it wasn't true in season 6 and 7. It was those 2 arcs at the end of 5. Everybody had 2 lightsabers. Even fucking Anakin, when he goes to fight Barriss, like the first thing he does, it's so fucking sick. The first thing he does when he walks into a room is he casually picks up her lightsaber and just starts looking at it. So then when she pulls out her 2 red ones, he's got 2 blue ones because he has hers and his.
Hell yeah.
Like Ahsoka, like evil Barriss has 2 red ones. Fucking Ahsoka has 2. Maul winds up with having the dark saber and his saber after he beats Pre Vizsla. Palpatine has 2 lightsabers.
Yeah, man, that's the go-to. What's cooler than 1? 2.
Which is canonical to the movie. In Revenge of the Sith, Palpatine is pulling out 2 lightsabers, but one of them gets knocked away. So he only has 1 for fighting Mace Windu. But he pulls out 2.
I don't even remember that at all.
It was pointed out. I didn't think about it at the time either.
It's been a hot minute. I mean, I guess the last time I watched that was for this podcast, but even that was years ago now.
I re-listened to that episode because I was curious what my thoughts were. And it's interesting because I will say I've come to much better terms with those movies in the years since that podcast. It was like after that podcast that I finally like chilled.
Was that podcast
pre-sequels? I don't. I think it was.
Was it pre-Rise of Skywalker?
I think it was pre-Rise.
Because Rise of Skywalker,
Rise of Skywalker
elevates
is a big key. Yes,
elevates the rest of everything.
It's true. I guess. Oh, okay. No, George is the one who had it. We need George.
We need him. No, dude, he got the Gungan kiss and he dipped graciously
side. That's what I sent Ben when I was watching the episode.
I was dying,
when you're unearthing the lost chapters that are like the things they had finished right before they could sell to Netflix, but they didn't have time to air on TV. That George was like, "Look at it, we're done." This fucking Jar Jar gets to kiss his girlfriend. George was like, "All right, I'm out. I've gotten my work here is done. There's no more worlds
There's
to
nothing left to get out of Star Wars, man. Everything has been
none
done.
of this shit is that meaningful. None of this else matters. This was it. Jar Jar kissing.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, Rise of Skywalker.
Terrible movie.
Rise of Skywalker really. It's funny how much it shifted, like, everything.
I have had to walk back my thing though, because one of my big things was Rise of Skywalker is ass because it's like has so few memes compared to the prequels, but it does have some memes. So I have to walk that back a little. There are
which memes
some
did
good
you
memes.
find?
Somehow Palpatine Returned is good. It's like
Yeah.
it's like actually funny.
Yeah, no, of course.
So
Did Rise of Skywalker have wide Kylo, or was that Last Jedi? I forget.
I think that's Last Jedi.
Okay, big wide Kylo fan, huge wide Kylo fan.
You know.
No, somehow
Palpatine
returned.
It's like legit hilarious.
I just can't fucking believe they led with, like, it blows me away every time I stop and like actually think about it a little.
It's like, no, it's a movie that's like so bad you're just like baffled. It's like
They couldn't commit to any fucking decision either.
no,
Like, not even just
that's
like
the thing.
among the
That's
trilogy, but like
that's the
in that
difference.
film.
George is committed to his bad ideas.
Yeah.
And his wooden dialogue. Like, but he understood Star Wars as a history, not like just this thing that I'm making, right? Like, I think that's part of it also, is like...
Yeah. I mean, that's also why...
that's part of what makes Clone Wars good, is that it's George's, like, understanding of the material, the world as a thing that happened, or, like, in his head, because he made it up. But, like, it's a thing, and then, like, you have people making a TV show about that stuff, and they're better at making a TV show than he was at making the prequel movies.
Yeah.
Eventually they get there.
Man, I'll be real. I kind of want you to just like watch Rebels just raw. I kind of want you to just do it.
It's just a lot.
It's not that. It's a Namek arc. Fucking coward.
But I could watch original Ultraman.
You watch the end. You watch the blue ball end of Namek like what 12 times as a as a youth.
Yeah, as a youth, when I had nothing, I didn't have internet.
Yeah, just
I was at the mercy of television. The greatest horror.
I do think. I think Rebels has. Like Clone Wars season 1 and 2 are like there's no argument to be made that they are like nothing burgers, right?
Mm.
I don't think Rebels has that as much. But I mean there's more of it. It's a higher ratio, but I think it immediately has better characters and more it's like more it's a little more put together. Like the threads that the good threads in it I think they start pretty early.
Well, so part of why I don't want to jump into it early is because it's later. Like, it's taking place later. Like,
Sure.
Bad Batch is still fucking chronologically before it.
Oh my god, he's doing bad. Guys, he's doing Bad Batch. How the tables have turned.
So that's in my head.
Boo.
But, like... I don't know that I'm going to do Bad Batch either. Bad Batch is also, I looked at Bad Batch and I'm like, there's a lot of episodes. Why don't they fucking make like 50 of these? God.
Yeah, I watched 3 and I was like, I cannot care about this.
Sure.
But that's also because I saw Rebels first. I was also, where are the lightsabers at?
Yeah, uh-huh. I'm not fucking as lightsaber pilled as you are.
I just don't find...
I don't just cream myself when the laser sword shows up.
Come on, man. You know? Oh. There it is. It's not even necessarily that. I think by the time Bad Batch rolled around, that was like I was pretty fucking sick of like we're doing another thing in between these periods. And I can't
but like
bring
for me,
myself
for
to
where
care.
I'm at now, I want to know what fucking Rex is up to next.
Yeah.
And that's in Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know what Ahsoka's up next to too, but that's Rebels, and she's like fucking older in that.
Yeah. Does she show up in Bad Batch at all?
I don't think so. I don't think she's in Bad Batch.
Okay. Well, if you want to,
Rex
like,
is in
then you
Bad
gotta fucking read the Ahsoka novel, man.
I'm not reading any fucking Star Wars novels.
Bro, you could
If
listen
I'm reading a Star Wars novel, I'm reading fucking Timothy Zahn.
You can listen to the audiobook. Ashley Eckstein does the narration.
No, that's more annoying.
Yeah, because she doesn't say I. She says Ahsoka. She reads it in third person. I had to stop. I was like, this is so good because anytime she says a line, it's 10 out of 10. But then she's like, said Ahsoka.
And like, I don't have patience for fiction for audiobooks. And
it's not fiction. It's the real world of things that happened in George Lucas's head. It's different.
I mean, like, narrative. If it was true crime, it wouldn't make it better, Ben. I'm not a true crime podcaster person.
Yeah. But you're not gonna read the fucking Asajj Ventress novel either?
Read it? No. Listen to a podcast about people telling me what happened in it? Sure.
Do you want a spoiler for what happens?
No, because I'm like I'm about to listen to that podcast. That podcast is like next on my list.
I mean, I'm glad I asked. I was gonna make a comment about it earlier when we were talking about two lightsabers, but
yeah, I mean, I know they kept making jokes. Is it smutty?
Yeah, it could have been smuttier. I'll say, you know, like they could have ramped it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't say anything then. And there's a non-zero chance I'm like slightly misremembering it, but I think I'm remembering it correct enough for my joke to work someday. We'll find out.
We'll sort of find out, I guess. Yeah. I think I'm just going to go through the story arcs one by one now in like a more direct way to go through to the end.
What do you...
So we've got...
Oh, for Clone Wars. I thought you meant for like watching stuff. I'm like...
No. I want to like actually go through the stuff that I watched in a more... rather than just rambling. And having fun. Now we've gotten the fun out of the way.
Yeah, now it's time to get down to business.
So you've got the Darth Maul arc, where he teams up, which is like, you know, we've got our two villain groups teaming up, the Death Watch and Darth Maul, and we get like smart, like manipulative Maul. And also, he just like walks into crime families. He's like, you listen to me now. And they're like, what? And he's like, you're dead. Do you have an objection? And there's like, nope. You're in charge.
I did have one thing to say that is before this arc. You mentioned Spider Legs Maul. Yeah. I fucking love that shit.
Okay.
Not necessarily because I like Spider Legs Maul necessarily, but I think the voice actor does a really... I forget his fucking name. I think it's Dan something off the top of my head. He does an incredible job of like crazy Maul. Like just muttering himself and shit. Like it's just actually so good. And it kind of... He does a good job of carrying that crazy and like... He's refined, but like you still see like this dude's fucking insane, like shining through. And I just think I think it was a very cool transition. Also, spider legs.
Sure. Sam Witwer?
Oh, Sam, right. Sam, Dan. Yes. Who also I think has portrayed him in the live action stuff since that, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think he was Maul in at the end of Solo. And then like any of the other minor appearances or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a really good voice actor at playing this character who's like unique to this show, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
So little to do with what Maul was in that movie.
No, he is like. There's so many people who are like, this guy is Maul. Like I don't know what his deal was in episode 1, but like here he is. He stood in that doorway and activated his lightsabers. That was it. That's the moment. Anyway,
you have to believe Maul is much cooler than he was in those movies. You have to believe Qui-Gon was much cooler than he was in those movies.
But he was so cool. I know he was cool because I read one of the Legends novels randomly that I pulled off of the library shelf about him and his former apprentice. Yeah, no. Syndicate Mall is beautiful to watch.
Yeah, and we get Satine's stupid pacifism thing, married to pacifism.
Yeah,
in a way that doesn't make any sense. But that's fine. She like. Also, although this does start the thing of characters in this show, terrible communicators. She gets like a secret messenger letter out of prison to send one message. And she's like, Mandalore's been taken over. And she does not mention Darth Maul. And if she said Darth Maul, the Jedi would come fucking rolling in. But she doesn't say Darth Maul. She does not.
Yeah.
She's just like, Death Watch is taking over. And Yoda's like, that's not our fucking problem.
Yeah.
You chose neutrality. Get owned.
Yeah, it's a weird... I don't know, man.
It's just a thing. It's just like it's the part where the writing is weak, where characters are just like some of the drama is coming from characters just not telling each other shit.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of essential to the prequels because the whole thing with Anakin is him going insane because he's not telling people shit.
Yeah.
But it's very funny when people do learn shit in Clone Wars and you're like, well, fucking finally.
I think the worst... Not the worst. I don't want to say the worst. An annoying thing is that it also in this... I don't know if it happens before this arc, if you get any inklings, but if I recall correctly, it's in this arc that, like, you get a lot of the, like, Obi-Wan also had feelings for a person. And, like, it just makes it so much fucking worse that him and Anakin never, like, talked about it. Because, like...
No, Ben, there's one of these episodes where Obi-Wan literally says to Anakin, it's fine to have, like, you know, I was with Satine. It's fine to have these feelings. You just, you know, fucking deal with it. Like, he says the thing that, like, as, like, watching the movie, she's like, if only you'd talked to him. It's like, oh, he actually did. He actually was, like, right there saying, Anakin, just fucking talk to me. You can. It's not that we can't feel things.
The problem,
we're fucking human.
Well,
he literally says it.
The problem is
wild. Anakin like just rebuffs him, but
yeah, the problem is that funny. Anakin's a fucking wall.
Yeah.
It's not.
But that's the thing. It's like it is interesting. It's like I find you get to see Obi-Wan say the thing that like is watching this. You're like, fucking Obi-Wan, just fucking tell him. And it's like he does, and it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
like it's too late. he's so in his head. It doesn't make a difference. That stuff I like. With like actually getting to see the conversation, but it still doesn't work. There is still just the general problem of like Anakin in throughout the course of the show is such a much better realized character that he is when then you go back to look at him in Revenge of the Sith.
I mean, that's sort of the problem, right? Like, I mean, that was always going to be the problem, is that they had this destination that sucks, but you want the show to be entertaining. It's like you need to make it good.
And it's like the problem of all like expanded universe Star Wars stuff, like including like the Marvel Darth Vader comics afterwards, that we read. Like
those are so good though.
But like you're making Anakin like a much more fleshed out, realized character. You're like adding good writing to him, and it's like part of me is like, but that's just fake. Like Anakin sucks. The movies are the text where he's terrible. And so I think it's kind of corny to try and make him cool at some level.
Yeah, I mean, the
as much as I really like the performance of like his voice actor and even the animation on his character in Clone Wars in these later parts, but there is a part of me that's like, but it's kind of corny to try and make him cool.
Yeah, there's
like one of the things about those prequel movies is they're like fundamentally not cool. You're just so far away from knowing what cool is.
I mean, even the stuff when he's Darth Vader, like in those comics or any fucking number of things, right? Like, it always almost all of it like falls short of the mark, in my opinion. Like it's so hard to square any version of Anakin with what Darth Vader is. Yeah, the only like acceptable thing to me, but that's also my extremely biased opinion because it lives in my head rent free, is the Dark Lord of the Sith comics, where you see like the super early shit. That's like fine as a transition thing, but like anything after that is you're trying to like do both or whatever, and I don't know. Yeah, it's just weird. Yeah. And I think like the heroic, the version of Anakin in Clone Wars makes so much more sense, but you can't I watch those movies. I know know the truth. Can't fool me, Dave Filoni. Yeah, no, dude, that's always been the thing with that show. And I mean, like, to an well, Rebels less so, but like any of this in between media is like, you know what it is. Yeah. I wish there, and honestly, like in my heart, I wish there was a way they could flesh it out and make it a little better while keeping the vibe that was clearly like, make it so it does gel better into what those movies are. Like that's like maybe just asking the impossible, but that's what I theoretically want. Oh, like one of the most difficult tasks assigned to any showrunner. Yeah, okay, just do it. Yeah, make Anakin likable as the main character of your TV show, but also make him suck, lame. I mean, there are moments. Easy. There's like the thing of like him and Ahsoka are flying in, and like Ahsoka fucking handles the droids fine, and Anakin's like gets completely owned, and I'm like, hell yeah, fuck Anakin. Like the bottom of his ship is like covered in drones. Hell yeah. Well, yeah, but it's rough. God, it's so hard to go through these in order. I keep getting distracted by stuff. There's a lot. Yeah. Actually, I was gonna ask because I don't know if this came up in the stuff you watched. Did you see the small, I think it was like a few episodes, the small arc about the Jedi commander that like was turning, like going Sith kind of.
Do you mean
Pretty sure it was a Jedi commander
killing a Jedi, or because there's the season 6 starts with that arc of a clone trooper like having Order 66 trigger from early, and he just straight up murders the Jedi commander.
No. Because that's that's Fives, right?
Well, it's Top is the one who does it, and then Fives is investigating it.
Oh, right. That okay. No, I mean Pong Krell.
Pong Krell. I don't remember. Is he like the defector?
Probably.
Or something? I don't know. Pong Krell.
This was in season 4.
Okay.
Clones are assigned very deadly
podcast like 5 years ago or something.
Missions. Where I'm just looking to
So he's just like an evil Jedi.
Yeah, he reveals he basically is sending the clones on like pointless suicide missions, and then he reveals he planned to ensure that so and so the Umbarans won the battle so that Dooku would make him his apprentice, and they execute him. Well, I mean, they kind of hesitate to execute him, then he gets shot anyway.
Sure.
But like just that
Jedi
idea
way.
that but like just the idea of like a clone. That's like another notable arc that people talk about. Partially because like that character pisses them off, right? Because he's a dick. So all these people watched him as kids being a dick to like the characters they like.
Yeah, that's not that interesting to me compared to like stuff that actually what's going on with the clones.
I mean, it was
because Order 66 makes that stuff more interesting than just like.
Oh, I think the way that they do Order 66 in this show sucks ass, and it's so much worse than the Legends version.
You don't like the chip implanted in their brain?
The chip makes it like it makes it. I mean, it's the thing that they needed to make the clones be like fucking any amount of likable at the end, right? Like,
yeah, the characters that you watch for the whole show would care about.
Yeah, but it take for
they're not fucking liars.
For the fucking big kids, it takes away the thing. Like, what is it? It's in is it Battlefront or Battlefront 2? There's a thing of like, there's like a. I don't think it's Rex. There's like a clone journal audio log something, and it was basically about like them fulfilling Order 66 and how like everybody did it. Everybody was like silent the entire fucking time, and like this whole thing, and like there was stuff there. Like it's fucking shit, but like I think that's a far better version than like, oh, they had a chip planted in their fucking brain, and then getting to watch the investigation of the chip like go fucking nowhere until it's too late was like, that infuriated me. I hated watching that, man.
See, like yeah, I liked it. I would say the thing is, as lore, I'm kind of indifferent. I like how they executed it as a thing they had to deal with on the show.
Yeah,
like
I think the execution was fine.
Because
like,
the thing
it fit in
that
the
like
show
makes it work is when they're like talking about their dreams.
Oh yeah,
that like they all have these dreams of killing the Jedi that they don't fucking talk about. That's fucking great.
Yeah.
And they don't really go into it. Like it's pretty. It's like as tough as it's like he's talking about the dreams and being a good soldier. Good soldiers follow orders. The thing.
Yeah.
That I like. And I just don't know how you can't square those characters without and like they hit the like relationship friendship so fucking hard.
Yeah, I mean, this is why like
it's the Jedi.
It's an impossible fucking task to to do anything else with it. Like, I think in the context of the show and stuff, it works. And like getting the stuff with Rex and Ahsoka
it's
is top
infuriating
tier.
when you're like, you see all the threads of like the Jedi getting close to figuring out stuff, but they never can. And you're like, but this is pointing at Palpatine, and this is pointing at Palpatine, and by the time of the movie, you're like, you're pretty sure it's Palpatine, but even then, you're like weirdly not sure.
Yeah.
You're like, Anakin, you got to spy on the Chancellor, but like you're also really not yet convinced that he's the Sith Lord somehow. And like the fact that Clone Wars establishes they know that Dooku ordered the clone army for them. Like they solved that mystery. It wasn't fucking Sifo Dyas.
Yeah.
It was Dooku. Like they figured out it was Darth Tyrannus, who is Dooku. They have an episode where they like put that together. Like also the idea they didn't know Darth Tyrannus and Dooku were the same person, even though like if you watch that movie, you're like, well, obviously Darth Tyrannus and Dooku are the same person. Like, why are the characters not put together? It's the same kind of confusion that comes from the thing of like the Trade Federation is not part of the Separatists, but they are. But they're like still part of the Federation of the Republic officially. They're like helping the Separatists secretly, but all their fucking droids are everywhere, so it's like really obvious. It's like a weird thing. Like there are a bunch of like semi-neutral members of the Separatists that are still part of the Republic that like they just never bothered. Like George knows, but fucking nobody else did.
Yeah. I mean, that's all that matters.
That was
the
thing about Clone Wars was like they were like partway through that show and they like George's like, yeah, and they like learned from George that the Separatists and the Trade Federation are not the same or whatever.
You gotta love how he rolls.
Yeah, man. Look, nobody's putting together that Luke Skywalker is Luke S. No one's putting it together. He left you all the clues.
Fake news.
He put it all out there. Yeah. Where was I? I don't.
He's so fucking lost in the sauce. About like, I mean, the whole thing started from like the chips and like how different things intersect with like the movies and how you can tell. Like if you watch the movie, you're like, all the pieces are fucking here, and you get to watch the Jedi not put any of them together.
Yeah,
like that whole thing, which I understand, I get it. I just think I don't know, man. I mean, here's actually the real takeaway is that the Legends canon is still right fucking there, and it's not going anywhere. So like whatever.
Yeah. But like for the sake of this show, you need fucking Rex to be like that fucking end when Rex gets mind controlled and then gets unmind controlled. That's fucking sick. Like that's fucking worth it. No,
nobody's arguing that it's not good. That for like the payoff makes it worth it, but like conceptually, I'm like, this is lame.
And that's my main thing with Clone Wars. Like, oh, they're good at the executing part. Like,
yes,
like the show is good from this point forward. It still has plenty of the same It's still a lot of the same problems of any of the prequel stuff. And anytime it's coming into contact with like original trilogy lore, I think it's fucking. That's when I'm like, oh, this is dog shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Cleaning up prequel stuff. I'm like, yum yum yum. Fucking. See, R2D2 taking Yoda to Dagobah. I'm like, what are we doing? Why did this happen? Now I have to know that R2 is just fucking faking it the whole time in Empire. He knows who that fuck is the whole time.
I mean, that's R2. That's
he's like in on the scam.
That's the entire prequels, dude. Like R2 is faking fucking everything. They even specifically don't
funny
memory wipe him.
The whole thing with R2 is that he doesn't get memory wiped. Yeah, like every other droid gets memory wiped, so it's fine. But R2 never memory wiped.
Yeah,
he knows.
Like, it's
the only fucking one who knows.
It's a weird decision. For like, I mean, it's funny for them to be like, "Yo, what if he just like knew everything and just like he's not snitching." Like, it's funny, but it's infuriating.
R2 is
hard.
Like you can trust R2.
Yeah, dude, you can trust with fucking anything. You tell R2 you're on your way to murder the Sand People. That's cool, man.
That arc, though.
Yeah,
which is the whole. It's like set up with like, hey, why did Qui-Gon know this before Yoda? Like, come on, how is Qui-Gon that cool? Qui-Gon's not that cool. He died to Darth Maul.
With the Force Ghost stuff?
With the knowing the way to live past death. Like having gone to the thing that Yoda goes to. And they set it up like it's fucking you're the chosen one. You're chosen to like be the next person in line to teach the next person or whatever. But the problem is they do it with Yoda, and Yoda becoming a Force ghost is not a thing that matters. It's just a thing that happens at the end of Return of the Jedi, but him fucking being able to become a Force ghost is not an important thing to the story. So it's weird to have this whole thing about Yoda learning how to become a Force ghost. Obi-Wan being a Force ghost matters.
Yeah.
Yoda, it doesn't matter. It's not important.
And
they talk about it in that episode like he's like chosen and it's special.
They are scared to power scale someone beyond Yoda and then make a thing that Yoda cannot do. Or I should say they were scared at the time. So they had to like boost him a little bit. Give him the tech.
Well, they made Qui-Gon do it first for no reason also in that.
That's been built up in his character and other shit. You got to remember Clone Wars is also in Legends as well. Like it's canon in both. And Qui-Gon was very much like he was the one who saw that the Jedi were like fucking up this entire like Yoda was blind to have this shit, man.
And like again, as an episode of TV that I'm watching, like it just doesn't work because Yoda's fucking Yoda. So when like they put him up against fucking his Gollum form, like literally his evil shadow Yoda thing.
Yeah,
there's like Dave Filoni talking about. He's like, yeah, like be like Gollum. It's literally just Gollum.
Yeah,
that's what he told the Yoda's voice actor. Like it's nothing. Like it has no juice to it. He's like it's not a thing for. It's not really a. He's the Jedi Master. It's easy for him. So it's not like a compelling story also.
Yeah, but sometimes I like to watch Goku just rinse an average dude.
And it's very funny that for what that was the end, that was the last thing of Clone Wars that people got.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. tell me about it.
Like that's what a bad way for it to end. Is this Yoda adventure that's like weird lore wise, and you're like, what? This is why?
This is why I was like going crazy when season 7 was announced.
Yeah,
because like holy shit.
Yeah, because season 6 is no Ahsoka. It's 5's discovering the chip, that whole fucking thing.
God, did
Which is good. It's Mace Windu and Jar Jar having an adventure against Mother Talzin, and Jar Jar like knocks over her orb and she dies.
Yeah.
She has this orb where that like they like shoot people and their force gets like zapped into this orb, and it's like extremely like 50 serial adventures stuff, but it's fucking Jar Jar and Mace Windu. And she just gets like fucking owned by Jar Jar knocking over this orb. But there is a part where she's like talking about how she uses magic. And Mace Windu's like, magic is just an illusion, as they're like in a sword fight where she's using like a magic sword. And I'm like, is it an illusion? She's like fighting you with a sword. What's the argument here? That it's fake. He's like, no, it's magic. That's fake. Like, what are we talking about? What's the Star Wars lore on magic as distinct from the Force?
I'm pretty sure that was turned into just the Force also.
I'm shocked.
I think that's kind of how that went down, but I forget if that is I forget if there was some bullshit about it being like the Force but different or not. But I'm pretty sure ultimately it's the Force.
Yeah, I think it's the Force but different. But it is presented in that episode. It's like magic. That's a whole different thing. This is our Temple of Doom episode with the fucking people with the like the tribal masks or whatever. It's vaguely racist. Like, Mother Talzim's here doing a moon ritual to steal your Force juice out of your body and put it in this orb.
Yeah.
And then there's a standalone episode where they like go down this whole thing of tracking down this guy who was with Sifo Dyas to get information out of him, but he doesn't tell them anything because Dooku strangles him, and he's like movie crazy. He's like talking about how his bugs. But then Dooku's just fucking standing there, so they figure it out anyway. Because they just watched Dooku strangle that guy. They're like, oh, well, I guess it was Dooku. And like Dooku's cool. Like you get some more like that Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting Dooku, and Dooku fucking taking it and piecing out.
Yeah.
And standing on ships as they explode and jump into another ship. But in that episode, it's like they put together that Dooku is Darth Tyrannus, finally. Even though they already knew linked to Dooku and Jango Fett, and Jango Fett told Obi-Wan that fucking Darth Tyrannus hired him. But,
yeah.
And there's the other thing of like, in Attack of the Clones, Dooku fucking tells Obi-Wan the whole thing. Like he tries to get Obi-Wan to join him. He like tells him there's a Dark Lord of the Sith in control of the Senate, and Obi-Wan's like, that's not true.
Yeah.
And then by the time you're at this, you're like, fucking Obi-Wan, he fucking told you the whole time. You should know.
I mean, this is like,
surprise.
Look, this is the problem of the prequels and also the show is like, it all still just actually is comes down to like, nah, that could happen.
I know. But I'm more invested in that because I like the show now. Like I'm more invested in a different way of just like saying, well, the prequels are ass, so who cares, right?
Dude,
like it's a different level of complaining.
You didn't even have to deal with the fucking the fuck. Do you remember because you wouldn't have watched the episode? Do you remember from the podcast the shit with the father and the son and the daughter?
Oh, the Mortis arc, where
the Mortis arc.
The Force is these two angry teens, one who's the light side, one who's the dark side, and then their dad.
Yeah, and they literally like.
That's yeah. No, I will say
Ugh.
the Yoda episode with the cosmic force and the living force. That's much better mythology than it being these two teens. That's terrible.
I mean, that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was watching the son like show Anakin what's going to happen, and Anakin's like, "Holy fuck, we got to go kill Palpatine," and then the father is like, "No, no, 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 no," and like wipes his memory. He's like, "Just kidding, guys." And I'm like, "That's why fucking do this to me."
Yeah, no.
Like that's
I remember that being so
sort of
mad
stuff.
about
That's
the
the
episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's because like despite knowing where it ends up, you still get like fucking invested, right? You're like, "Yo, dude," like your brain tricks you into being like, "This is an alternate universe. He's going to go kill Palpatine." And then it doesn't
He's
fucking
like a different
happen.
character.
Dude,
it's
that's
possible.
the thing. He's a completely different character. He might go do it.
Although I will say in the last arc of season 5 with Ahsoka like being accused of murder and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and Anakin goes to fight to like interrogate Ventress, he is in full Darth Vader Anakin mode. He's like fucking slinking around in robes and he's just so fucking evil and ready to cut her head off. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, no, when he gets to just be like oh right, this
Super
dude
evil.
is like evil.
When he's just like evil, he just gets to like cut loose his evil. It's so fucking sick. It's like, yeah, this is Anakin. He's just fucking evil. Yeah, Anakin, Darth Vader. He'll just cut your head off.
I was looking at the wiki. I forgot. Yeah, do it. I forgot that they literally bring in Darth Bane.
Yeah, no,
Like,
Yoda talks to Darth Bane
Yeah.
in that thing.
And like he's so
And Darth
fucking...
Bane's like, I fucking did it. I came up with the Sith pyramid scheme. The rule of 2. That was me. Because we were fucking just killing each other. But this focus. Like now it's like, now we're in it,
I fucking... My thing is that I fucking hate how he looks in the Clone Wars. Because like one of my earliest Star Wars things
it's also
was
like tech. It's also a thing like in Legends, Sith ghosts were fucking everywhere, but in new canon, the Sith can't become ghosts because you have to go through this Jedi super ritual to learn how to maintain your consciousness after death that Yoda does.
Yeah, they made a lot of lame decisions.
So that's just an illusion. Whereas like in Legends, like, oh, they're Jedi ghosts. Well, why not Force ghosts? They're run by Sith ghosts. They can just be fucking Sith ghosts everywhere. That's fun. What if we just had fun?
I mean, more so it's that like reading that comic with Bane where he literally like kills fucking everyone.
Sure.
Like just literally bombs the entire Jedi and Sith forces. So it's just him and Zara, whatever. The kid that becomes his apprentice. He's so fucking hard in that. Like it's so cool. He's just like, yeah, everyone dies. Like everybody's fucking weak. And his apprentice is like, look, I survived. And she's like a husk. And like the kid just like crushes her or whatever. And he's like, yo, sick, let's roll. And it's like, it's so fucking cool. I was like reading this as like a middle schooler or whatever. I'm like, this is cool as hell, dude. And then in this, I'm like, this is not my Bane. This isn't him, man.
Well, it's not him. It's just an illusion.
Yeah, but it's like the illusion is weak. Looks mid.
Also watching these episodes, it's very funny. Well, it's funny to me listening to it. It's sad because the actor who played Palpatine in the Clone Wars died.
Yeah.
While they were making season 5, but they replaced him with Tim Curry. So now Tim Curry is Palpatine, and that's very fun.
Yeah, dude.
And it's weird because like in like sometimes it's like I don't think that's Tim Curry. Like, oh, that's Tim Curry. It's like they had some stuff, so it's like kind of mixed in. It's very it's interesting to listen to to like try and pick it out.
Hell yeah, dude.
I like Tim Curry as Palpatine. I'll say because Tim Curry rules.
I mean, yeah, like that's make him anybody, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to God. I still fucking just randomly watch his scenes from Legend. Just so fucking good. I don't know how he moves his mouth like that, but he sure does it under 2,000 tons of makeup.
Yeah. With the end of 6, I do think it's a little weird they make Barriss the evil one.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird, man. It's out of nowhere. It feels super out of pocket.
Not from clone. She's from her like own book or something. Like she's not from.
Know.
She's not an original character to this show. She was like from a novel, and she's like the only Jedi who's like Middle Eastern themed. So it's like has extra problems. So it's like now she's evil. And this Clone Wars, which is so fucking post-war in Iraq built as a show. That's what's on George's mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't that one, all of that, I didn't notice any of that shit. If I'm being real. But it sounds right. It checks out.
No, a lot of the Clone Wars show is like the way it is because George is thinking about the war in Iraq.
I love it when people bring the fucking real convoluted shitty conflicts into their kid show. It's great.
Hey, Pluto was also a war in Iraq build, but that's great.
That's fucking different.
The writing is good.
That's different.
It's just the writing is better.
The writing is better. Jesus Christ. It's like playing. It's like fucking. I can't even make a goddamn comparison because that is the comparison.
Comparing Clone Wars and Pluto.
Yeah, like that's the thing you do to like highlight a different stupid comparison. Like,
yeah.
One of these things was a fun time. The other one made me feel like every level of emotion at once.
Yeah.
While activating my brain. It was the Jar Jar kiss. You thought I was talking about Pluto, but it wasn't. It was the Jar Jar getting a little tongue.
The smooch. Yeah. And then that arc also is an example, like Ahsoka is so bad at telling anyone what she saw, like what happened. Like she's terrible at explaining that, like, she walked into the room and watched this woman get force choked by someone.
Yeah.
And they're like, we have this video footage. And Ahsoka's just like crouching with her hands out. It's like, this woman gets force choked, so it vaguely looks like she did it. It's like, oh, that's good enough for us. Like, oh, sorry, Ahsoka, you're kicked out of the Jedi Order so that you can be tried in a military court by Tarkin.
Yeah.
It's very funny because they do the scene from The Fugitive, but they actually use the fugitive lie because the line for the fugitive is, I don't care, but Anakin does care about Ahsoka, so they can't go the whole completely steal that scene. What even Anakin's like, all right, I trust you. I'm just going to send my clone army to make sure you're secured. Guns to stun, guys. Come on. Stun. Fuck. Like there's a part where like even Rex are there, and Rex is like, I can't believe Ahsoka would do this. And Anakin's like, all right, we gotta find her. Send out a message, and he walks away. And then Rex is like, we gotta track down Ahsoka. She's killed 3 clones. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa! I thought you didn't think she was guilty. You're just sending that out there. She's like fucking murdered 3 clones. Jesus.
Well, he doesn't think it, but orders are orders.
It's very funny. And that because that's also in that arc. That's the thing I like, where like they go to the military prison and it's all fucking Empire themed. For like, it's like, oh, the military here has like transformed into the Empire military. Like Tarkin is fucking doing the thing over here.
Yeah.
No,
it's a very good transition.
There are these clones with like red markings that are like the prison guards, and suddenly those clones are just fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Like that shit's good. Of like building up, like shit is different now.
Mm-hmm.
And the Jedi are in like the weird spot of like, well, we don't want to seem like we're overstepping our bounds, so we don't want to like strong arm our way into defending you, so we're gonna let you have a fair trial under Tarkin. It's gonna fucking who basically incarcerated you by when you were like going to interrogate a witness in his prison, and you just never got to leave.
Yeah,
that shit's pretty good. It's like very believable that Ahsoka would be like, you know what? I'm fucking out of here.
Oh, dude, it makes perfect fucking sense. Also, like, as a viewer who has seen episode 3 and understands what's coming, you're like, nice. Get the fuck out, dude.
Yeah.
Except now, like,
that is a thing, a big difference between this Clone Wars and the 2003 one, because the 2003 one comes out before Revenge of the Sith. So it doesn't have like the foreknowledge. Like it's built trying to build things up into ways that are then disappointing when you watch the movie. It's one of the experiences of that is like, oh, they just made this show for like an audience that's like just primed to fucking hate the movies. Because like if you like this, you like have taste and can tell that like the movies are not this good.
Yeah.
Whereas like Clone Wars is like those early parts, it's like well calibrated. It's like, okay, if you're fucking into the prequels, we've got some more mediocre shit that like maybe you could vibe with, and then it gets better as like that audience ages. Because if you were an 8-year-old and like at the beginning of the Clone Wars show, you're fucking 18 when season 7 comes out.
Yeah.
Like you're an adult, basically, in terms of taste or whatever. Like your tastes have like changed completely. So if the show hadn't gotten better, people wouldn't fucking talk about it. Like it did the thing of aging well for the audience. I'd say it got better at the right rate.
Yeah,
for why people
it grew up
about
with
it.
the.
Whereas that 2003 one was like is fucking good, but it's not in any position to be a thing that's meaningful to people in the same way.
Yeah,
because it was too good at a time when Star Wars was ass.
Yeah. I mean, even like I'm trying to think if I remember like what when I first remember hearing about this Clone Wars. I honestly don't even.
You saw it in theaters, right?
I saw the movie in theaters, but then I didn't fucking watch it for like I watched that was 2008. Like I watched it and then I didn't watch it until like 6 years later, give or take.
Sure.
I just don't remember like. No, I probably do because that would have been like I was very Reddit pilled and part of that. So probably on the like I just saw people on the Star Wars subreddit or subreddits had been like hyping it up enough.
Yeah.
At least the later seasons, I'm just like, yeah, fine, I'll fucking watch it. And then I did it.
Yeah.
But
because early on it was like extremely a Saturday morning kid show. Like it was on early. It was like a 9 a.m. show or something.
yeah, it tracks. But I don't remember like
He's still watching Cartoon Network all the time. Like never saw it because it was like not on at the time when I would be watching TV. I'm not waking up at 9 a.m. to watch Clone Wars. I don't care that much.
Yeah, and it's like it missed. Like I went to the fucking film with my friend because we like Star Wars, but like that's not a thing at that age. Like nobody else was talking about. Nobody was watching it or talking about Star Wars or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Anya's brother, I think, watched it on a delay or whatever when it released in Russia. Like he was in that group, so I just missed any natural conversation about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about season. So then season 5 or season 6 is those. Is that? It's the then there's the Yoda thing. Which like, it's just not. You think about it and it's like, what the fuck was that? And watching it in the moment, you're like, but he's Yoda. It's not. You're like, you put Yoda in persona and he has to confront his shadow self, but like, he's not, he knows, like, it's not a thing. There's no fight. He's just like, yeah, and?
Yeah.
So it just doesn't hit. And it makes no sense lore-wise to me. Why you would do that story that way. But who cares?
Yeah, no, I was.
They wanted to put Yoda, and they wanted Yoda and R2 to go on a little adventure because everybody loves Yoda and R2.
Yeah, exactly.
Yoda gets in his little TIE fighter. He has this tiny little TIE fighter.
Yeah, his little mini. Yeah.
Like it's just a TIE fighter before TIE fighters are a thing. Yoda.
Yeah.
It's a Yoda ship.
I mean, that's half the fucking ships in the prequels is like, it's the precursor to this thing because we're in the past, except everything's sleek with round corners.
The 2003 Clone Wars made Padme's ship look cool for the first time in my fucking life.
Oh, okay.
They did some fucking effect on it.
Padme ship Clone Wars
somehow
2003.
In animation, it just looked cool for once. Also, they made Padme look sick. Like her fit was just on fire. She was on this snow planet with this fucking her snow hood and cape. It was just sick.
Hell yeah.
White jumpsuit. Extremely Leia-esque. but like theoretical what you want Leia to be, even not even necessarily what Leia was.
Yeah, I can't find any good images offhand, but I plan on watching it, so like I'll see.
Yeah. So season 7 starts with like there's a Bad Batch story that's like is a thing they made for 6 that didn't ever get finished, and is like the pilot for the Bad Batch show they make afterwards, basically. With Echo getting rescued and being a cyborg. And it's a solid Rex adventure.
Yeah.
And then you have this Ahsoka story that I mostly find kind of annoying because the other characters in it, these sisters, are just like they're just a little too annoying. Like one is a little too naive and bushy and bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and the other one's just a little too much of a dick.
Yeah, no, that's roughly how I felt. I'm like, okay, well,
It is very funny how the bright-eyed, bushy-tailed girl, she murders so many people before that story is done. They just have her fucking killing Pikes left and fucking right. Like, she gets a gun and she's just fucking mowing people down.
Yeah, man.
And like,
that's how it goes.
Like the young innocent one that is pure of heart or whatever.
Yeah, so they deserve it.
Back.
They deserve it, man.
And then, like in this episode, like the head Pike, he looks like really gross. Like the area around his mouth is like stained with spice.
Yeah, it's
like really good. It is hilarious how much, like in the Dooku, where they like uncover the Dark Tyrannus episode, they go to the Pikes, and it is such a fucking like opium den.
Yeah,
like, people are like, fucking dude, zoned out.
Yeah, dude. No, it's kind of fucked up.
Oh yeah, but also in the Ahsoka arc, like Ahsoka is such a fucking herb. Like they're at a fucking big dinner with the guy talking about like how he's gonna give them this shipment of spice to move, and Ahsoka's like, spice? They've used that to make drugs. It's like, fucking chill, Ahsoka. You have to be such a cop like right fucking now. And then like they get the spice, and the fucking Ahsoka and the older sister fucking arguing about it. And the younger sister's so fucking tilted by the fighting, she just dumps the spice into fucking hyperspace. And both of them are like, that was the worst thing you could do. And Ahsoka's like, I fucking agree. We have no leverage. Why did you do that?
Yeah, that's you know.
So there's just like, I wish the writing were a little better.
I mean, they're saving it, man. This is all filler. In the real sense of the word.
Those two stories, I mean, particularly that one. That one's really like, because by the end of it, like, you see Bo-Katan like looking for Ahsoka, because she's gonna, like, at the end, she's gonna go, I need your help to defeat Maul, or whatever, to set up the end. Like,
yeah.
And it's so just like, here's our fun adventure with Ahsoka before we do the real thing that anyone cares about.
Yeah.
But we finally got one Ahsoka adventure of just her being out in the world.
I think I think it's good, because getting
but I think
like
it's
another
the same problem as a lot of like modern Disney stuff, where you spend too many episodes on a fun adventure story when like we should be getting like 4 fun adventures.
Sure.
That are like shorter.
No, that's sure, yeah. It's the important thing for me,
like, give me
is
TV. Like, there's like a difference between being serialized and these like long multi-part story arcs that just like do not deserve to be that long for the material that's in it or whatever. Like, there's a middle ground that we don't have. We're like an episode as an individual thing. I would still want it to matter. I just want it to be connected to the stuff around it also.
Yeah.
And that, like, there's just a lot of modern Star Wars and modern Marvel TV that's just like bad at that particular thing. And this is bad in that same way.
Sure.
Filoni does not have the answer for that one.
Look, the important thing to me is that we got episodes that had the opening narration and the usual logo and shit, and then when you switch for the 4 episodes, it hits.
Yeah. True. If you build up a pattern and then break it, it's important. Like that end of season 5 is the only episode of Clone Wars, or the first one at least. I guess maybe in 7 it does it too, but that doesn't do the hard cut to the Star Wars theme at the end. It just like fades out. And Filoni's like, Filoni's like, he had to like hold it back to trick George into seeing it late so that he would approve it. Because if George saw it early, he would just say no.
That's so funny.
He had to scheme.
Yeah, I got to pull a fast one on him.
Yeah, to convince him that we should fade out instead of doing the da 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 da. It's like, I quit. I do love the narration thing Clone Wars does, because it's like, it's the title crawls, but it's just this narrator fucking saying it. It's like a radio play.
Yeah, like, it's cool. I think it's cool.
Rules. And it's like, this is acceptable to me as not doing a title crawl. But I am like, I want the title crawls back. Because when I was younger, every Star Wars thing had a title crawl, no matter how fucking stupid it was. Whatever fucking video game, it opened with a title crawl. That was important to what the Star Wars thing was.
Yeah.
But I find the narration a happy medium ground if you're gonna
a fucking title crawl on every single one of these episodes. That's a lot of title crawls, man. Yeah. That's a novel.
I mean, they don't have to be fucking long title crawls.
No, they got to be long. Otherwise, what's the point? 3 paragraphs minimum.
I just like...
Give me the full context for this 20-minute episode about Jar Jar.
The point of the title crawl is you might have missed the last thing. It was for film serials.
Fuck those kids.
That's in front of different movies, so you could never be guaranteed which one you're getting in front of. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Now they're like, we know you fucks are watching all of this. We don't need.
Oh yeah, dude.
We don't need to recap you. I'm like, what I want, but it's vibes, man. The vibes.
I mean, that's the problem with Marvel, right? It's made for people. To me, as someone who hasn't seen all of it, a lot of the shit is made for people who've seen all of it, or have happened to see the things that are relevant.
Yeah, but like recently, fucking nothing is relevant because not enough people are watching it, so none of it mattered.
Sure. But like that was the thing with it was so fucking funny watching the Star Wars subreddit a little bit react to Solo when that came out, because everyone was like, there were so many people who were like they were shocked that Darth Maul was back and they thought it was like a bad writing decision, and like they didn't know. I'm like, yeah, dude, like the fucking vast majority of people who take in Star Wars, like, yeah, they're not out here watching the stupid kid show and reading the comics or whatever. Like, they just got fucking jump scared by Darth Maul after
they got
like
you
20
got
years
fucking
or
legends
whatever.
in their canon movie.
Yeah. So it's just, but they were like, that was like their wake up moment of like, maybe most people aren't like taking in everything. Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, why would you? Dash Rendar doesn't even matter anymore.
Who's that?
He's the main character of Shadows of the Empire, the Star Wars N64 and PC game. And it was like a whole multimedia thing. Like there were comics. There was like post. I forget. I think it was like right before or right after. I think it was right before they did the. Like between the like before the special editions. It was like their big multimedia push for a Star Wars thing. It's Dash Rendar. He's like Han Solo, but he's Dash Rendar.
Right. Very cool. Very.
He's an outlaw.
Yeah.
He's a smuggler. He has a ship that's like but distinct from the Millennium Falcon. You fight Boba Fett and IG-88.
Oh hell yeah! I love those guys.
It opens. You're in the Hoth fight. You get to shoot the tow cable and wrap up AT-ATs.
Nice. That's what we like.
Yeah. And then you got to escape from Hoth on foot. And their jetpack levels and their speeder bike levels. I love that game. It's kind of trash, but I love it.
Hell yeah.
You do.
You know,
it ends where you're like in space and you do like fucking, your own version of the bombing run. You fly into the middle of this space station to blow it up.
You know what's not trash?
What?
The last 4 episodes.
The last 4 episodes of season 7 of Clone Wars, the final season, or it's finally over. It's a good movie.
Dude, it's so good though. It fucking hits.
It does. It does.
This is the only thing I had to message Hank before we recorded to get to get a mood spoiler, because I'm like, if he doesn't, this is gonna be such a fucking different episode if for some reason he doesn't like this. Like I need to be prepared.
Oh. God, I love that she got Rex out in the fucking. She got the chip out of Rex's head, and now Rex is fucking Rex again, and Rex has to fucking go tell her like, those are my brothers, and they're gonna fucking kill themselves to fucking try and kill us. They're gonna throw their lives away to fucking try and kill us. That shit's fucking amazing, because those fucking stormtroopers. Those clone troopers out there, like in the fucking line, they're ready to fucking ride this spaceship to the fucking ground to stop them from getting away. That's wild. They're fucking video game enemies over here.
No, dude, even like from the fucking get go, like where Rex like is able to like resist a little bit, and then he gets his words out about the incident with Fives and everything else, like, God, it just fucking hits. Like, it's so fucking grim.
Yeah. And it's paying off the stuff that you've seen, like, it's paying off that 5 arc. Like,
I mean, it's also like,
what Fives did mattered because it helped Ahsoka fucking live, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, it did matter.
Yeah, that and
they made it matter. And also, it's like it's her fucking crew. They all have the orange paint on their helmets that's like a mirror of her face paint.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like the fact that it's her fucking, they just like drive it home.
Just stun them. I don't want to kill them. And Rex is like, bro. They are all going to die.
Yeah.
And then their graves at the end. It's so fucking good.
It's that shot. People, rightfully so, people are losing their fucking minds over that shot. Like,
that shot's so good.
It's insane.
And then the shots of Vader coming there later.
Oh, and he finds her lightsaber.
Yeah.
No, this was like,
it's crazy to me. They made this after Rebels. Like, you already know Ahsoka has further adventures after this. Like, you've seen them,
right?
If you're in.
It's crazy because like it does so well. Of like, in the moment you're like, what the fuck happened to her? Oh right, I did watch her in like another 4 seasons of television. That is a thing that I did, and a book. Like, it's right. She's fine.
She doesn't even have gold lightsabers yet. That's one of the things I know about Ahsoka.
Are there white lightsabers, actually?
Yeah, whatever. Her purified lightsaber.
Yeah, it was so sick in the book. That is a change that I think is cool because the old red versus any other color was like stupid. Like natural versus synthetic crystals was kind of shit. Having to bleed after reading Dark Lord of the Sith, I was like, yeah, okay. I've bleeding the crystal is fucking cool if this is what you're doing every time. Like making them, it's the inverse of becoming a Force ghost, right? Like you're fighting the good within yourself, which is kind of sick. You gotta fucking commit to being bad. You can't just stumble into it.
It would have been cool if Anakin had done that in the movie.
Yeah, it would have been cool if you'd done a lot of things in the movie. Like a lot of things.
A lot of things. Like not been such an herb.
Yeah.
Maybe. Be a little chill.
What the fuck was I gonna say? Oh, this was my season 7. Season 7 is the reward for watching all of the whole show. Like, because for whatever parts, like the fact that I don't fucking remember like season 1 or 2 like nearly at all, you still get like all of that bonding with the characters, right? So like by the time you get to these fucking episodes, it's like, holy shit, just straight to the fucking heart. That's a lot of TV you watched with Ahsoka and these characters.
Counterpoint, it still hit fine coming in 100 episodes late.
Yeah. But you know,
like I did need
time, like it just felt
I couldn't have just come in cold. I mean coming in cold on these episodes, they still would have been fire. But yeah, I did like I'd seen the important stuff to like that I felt like these episodes were paying off those episodes. I just didn't see some of the stuff that those episodes were paying off on completely.
Yeah, it is fine, but you know,
like I hadn't seen everything Satine had done myself before she died.
For me, watching through the whole thing and then you stop on season 6, that does not feel like I watched the show for this. Season 7 feels like I watched the show for this. Like
it's wild to me. People watched Clone Wars as it was coming out, and like it's like such an incomplete thing until you get season 7.
Dude, it's crazy.
It's like an ephemeral thing. Like,
and I didn't really.
There's some good stuff, but like it's not. It doesn't have the punch that you need to like feel like, okay, they did it. They did the thing.
Going in, I knew that it starts like kind of meh and it just constantly gets better as it goes. Is the line I was fed, whether it's true or not is a different matter.
Yeah, I wouldn't phrase it that way. I would say there are 2 arcs that are more like the end of season 6, and then there's a movie that's fire.
Well, this was before the movie, remember? I didn't have season 7 sitting there as a thing to take in.
You meant as
when I got
Clone
into
Wars
it.
as a thing?
When I got into Clone Wars entirely.
I thought you were talking about season 7.
Yeah, sorry.
Clone Wars is a thing.
Season 7 I got myself into.
Gotcha.
I was losing my mind. No, that was the thing is people were saying like it gets better and better as it goes on or whatever. And like the start is rough, but it gets there. I don't recall
in terms of production. Yeah.
I don't recall anyone ever saying that like it just fucking ends and they didn't actually get to like finish it out how they wanted. So like that was getting to it. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean there's no more? Why are they T-posing in these episodes? Like that was it, man. And I was like, oh, like, yeah, it was really good, but like I feel like I've been edging this whole time. And there's no release.
No, that's like anyone who's like before season 7 who was trying to get someone to Clone Wars by saying it gets good later is like they're like getting you in on their pain.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I'm like, okay, I guess like that did get really good at points.
Let's watch 100 episodes of a thing that's then gonna go like, wait, it just ended. It was just just figured out how to be good. What?
Yeah. No, so like season 7 was crazy in that way. And then like the fucking catharsis of seeing that ending film is like that's everything.
Yeah.
Cuz it was what was the delay? I mean, 2014 was season 6 when they dropped that, and 2020 is right when season 7 came out. So like it's like 6 years of being like, I guess we're done. Like I didn't assume anything new was coming out for ever.
Yeah, and like 7 years since you saw Ahsoka.
Dude, it's crazy. That's actually fucking nuts. I'm trying to, I guess like, well, no, it's not 7 years because Rebels hit, right? That was
sure.
No, right, because that started in 2014, which is also kind of funny. I forgot
because
that
that's
started
what
in 2014.
Because Clone Wars was a Cartoon Network show, which is Turner. So Disney buys it, cancels that show, and is like, we're gonna package whatever we got left to Netflix.
Yeah.
And we want you guys immediately working on a show for Disney, and they make Rebels for Disney XD, Disney's cable channel. They just immediately get pulled over, basically, to make Rebels.
So
Rebels is a much quicker turnaround time, because Clone Wars, they were fucking working years in advance. Whereas Rebels, like, they basically were immediately like,
I think
turned around.
I think I must have watched all of this in like at least 18. I think it was later because I don't remember ever having to wait for any Rebels content to come out. I think did I? I honestly forget, but I remember watching through most of Rebels, if not the whole thing. So it was like probably 2017 or 2018 looking at this.
Because Rebels is like the first Disney Star Wars thing, right?
Sure. That sounds, I'd believe it. I don't know if it was.
Rebels, October 14th. Yeah, and then episode 7 was 2015. No, or 2014? Also 2014?
Yeah.
But, no, 2015. I don't know why that thing said 2015. Yeah. So, yeah, Force Awakens was like a year later, or whatever. Yeah, Rebels was like the first thing out the door. Because they just took a team that knew how to that was like already in place, and they were just like, make a new thing immediately for us. Well, bang, I'm like, they were like, get on it. Fucking enough of this Clone Wars shit. Lead into we need a later era. We need to lead into the movies people care about. Get out of this prequel shit.
Yeah. Man, aside from
which is how Disney came in off the top rope immediately for with Star Wars was we need none of the more of this prequel shit.
I'm looking at the season, like just skimming the episodes for season 1 of Rebels. I think if I remember right, people said that like season 1 and 2 were like a little bit kiddie, a tiny bit. And then it like the back 2 are like just you could do all of it essentially with exceptions. Honestly, I think that like it's less kiddie. The bottom, the floor for kiddiness is much higher than Clone Wars. I don't think you don't have any Jar Jar episodes or shit like that, or the equivalent. But
look, Jar Jar making out, that's for adults.
Yeah, that's season 4 shit. That's Rebels season 4.
This is for an adult man. His name is George Lucas.
His name is George Lucas.
It was for him. He needed it. needed it bad.
Desperately needed it. That's why he invented Star Wars. That's why he was saying, like, that's
what
why
kept
he
him
made.
Going.
That's why he made
That's not what brought him to the
film.
dance, but that's what.
That's
kept him at
why.
the party.
It's why he made the initial film, and it's why we have the recording of him in like '98 saying like Jar Jar is the key to all of this. He was playing chess while everybody else was playing checkers, and he was like 1,000 moves ahead of everybody. Like, he was multiple games down the timeline. Nobody could have seen it coming but him, because that was the master plan.
Those are George's moves. I'm gonna make Jar Jar happen, and I'm gonna make this the most popular kids show in the world about our heroes getting taxed, and that's bad.
Yeah. Yeah, he had the vision. But then
that is why the Republic takes over the banking clan at the end. Dooku is like, I'm gonna make you fucking tax the Republic. Ha 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 ha. The guy is like, no, and the Republic's like, fuck that guy, and they invade. Also, he says, not all Muons. Like, literally. They're not all corrupt and evil.
yeah.
Just the ones in charge of the banks.
Yeah. He gets it. Oh, man.
It's funny because, like, in the animated, in the Clone Wars, those races, their nose are so much more pronounced as big noses than they are as, like, one of them shows up in, I think, it's either Revenge of the Sith or Clone Wars. I don't remember which one.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
Because there's like one scene where they're like breaking down these the members of the Separatists, the Banking Clan.
Brought on J.K. Rowling for writing credit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just it's a problem is it's a very widespread trope.
Yeah.
Built on deep racism. Yeesh.
Yeah. Me and Anya have fun with it though. Like sometimes she'll see a thing or whatever, like someone saying some stupid shit. I'll be like, "Bro, what are you doing? Where's our cut of all this shit that's supposedly happening? Like, come on. We're out here struggling. Do something." It's fun times.
Yeah. So that's a part of Star Wars where George needed to be checked, but that's when you go for the full George experience.
Nobody yeah, like anybody's gonna fucking check George Lucas.
I mean, not back then. Certainly. That did not happen, certainly, back then.
Yeah. He is the one who checks.
Yeah. He cashes those checks.
Literally.
And he took Disney's money all the way to the bank.
God. It's so fucking funny that he did it back to back. Fucking gets the merchandising rights for a thing that became like the most popular merchandise on the entire fucking planet. Uh-huh. And then he sells it to Disney for another giant payout. Like, dude, it's insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually crazy.
But he could have let fucking Clone Wars get finished before he sold it, though. God.
Nah,
George.
No, dude. No, he was tired, man. He'd been working towards his goal all those decades.
Yeah, his goal of see Jar Jar make out.
Yeah, he was
Finally
exhausted. He finally
ready.
got there, and the steam was out.
He just was not invested anymore.
He was ready. That could have been the last episode, but like he had to convince everyone that they were making a full like show that was gonna go on. So he had to sell it.
They
Convince,
just
convince
weren't.
him.
Yeah, they weren't. They kept working on other things besides the Jar Jar makeout
Yeah.
because they didn't want to do it. No one wanted to touch it.
Someone had to fucking model that, dude.
Yeah,
Someone had to make that scene.
they,
George was over their
Lucas
shoulder the whole
paid
time.
A person to do that. Yeah, he watched. He's like,
he's standing, he's
"Do
like
it."
breathing a little heavy.
yeah, he said, "Do it, do it,
Yeah.
Do it.
as they hesitate.
They're like going to hit the render button. He's like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Good. No, but honestly, this whole journey that I've been on of getting to the end
it's
of
such a
Clone Wars,
roundabout fucking way, dude.
it wouldn't have been possible if I hadn't come to terms with the prequels as like.
So Rise
not
of the
mad about it.
Skywalker, in a way, was very helpful for you.
Yeah, sure. That's-
That's good. I'm glad that movie brought a little light into the world.
And now I've seen Jar Jar make out, and I can't unsee it.
Yeah, man.
Although it's not, honestly, the thing that's burned into my mind now is I watched that older Clone Wars and fucking C-3PO exposing himself.
Dude,
My
most
images
impressive.
burned into my brain.
The fact that he's like draping it too, like it's his fucking hands and everything.
They knew what they
are,
were
like,
doing.
It's fucking crazy.
That's what he's doing. He's showing off his new gold paint job. Anakin hadn't seen him in gold before. That's what's happening there.
Yeah, he's like casually leaning back and draping like a goddamn fucking Roman male concubine or whatever. Like, it's crazy.
It's so funny.
Oh, that shot is absurd. I'll watch it. I'll watch that stuff at some point.
Yeah.
Is it available anywhere to like stream, or did you just acquire it?
I just acquired it.
Yeah, I might wait until I get back to Armenia.
I grabbed a
So-
remux that was like 2 video files that were like an hour long each.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that in Armenia because they don't give a shit.
Sure.
And I'm on like my parents' internet, so
Sure.
I'm just gonna
Yeah,
chill.
I don't think it's on Disney Plus. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even have Disney Plus, so
Yeah, I don't know if it's actually available.
I doubt it.
It's so good.
Maybe on
It's
Disney,
too
maybe on
good.
Disney Plus, but like, yeah, yeah, man.
It's
I mean,
too
it
good.
always looked sick. I don't know why I never watched it. I don't know. I just never. It was on my radar like this whole fucking time, right? 'Cause,
I mean,
like,
I also,
it was always
I know
interesting.
why I didn't watch it because I looked at it at the time. I was like, that looks sick, but like it's just gonna make me more mad, and it kind of did because like I knew enough about it that like,
yeah,
because Grievous is fucking so cool in it, and then he's so lame in the movie.
yeah, that tracks.
But it is funny because like that Clone Wars gives an explanation for why his heart is fucked up, but then you get new Clone Wars and he's just always like that from the beginning. They're just like, that's who Grievous is. He's this guy whose breathing is fucked up.
Well, he wasn't always like that. Mace Windu force crushed his chest plate, and it like damaged his lungs or whatever.
Yeah, but it was much later. It happened at like right before Revenge of the Sith in old canon, but in the Clone Wars TV show, he's like that immediately when you meet him.
Oh, I suppose, yeah. Going back, it is before that, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because the 2003 series leads right into that movie, and that's like when it happens. Is like when
Do they
kidnapping
show
Palpatine.
do they show Mace Windu doing it in that show?
Yeah, it's like one of the last things that happens. And it's like Palpatine being
that
kidnapped.
that was probably just a fucking like.
But then they're making
Man,
this
I
Clone
read
Wars
that-
kids show, and they're like,
Yeah.
we're
that's a
gonna
very-
depict Grievous the way he is depicted in the movie.
That's a very funny like
And
thing
Grievous is
that
such
I
a
hadn't
weird
thought
character.
about.
In the Clone Wars show, because there's like a line in the movie about how he's never met Anakin before. So they have to, every appearance he's in, he can't meet Anakin in Clone Wars. They can never be in the same room together. Because of this one line. Like that they care about. Yoda and R2-D2 going to Dagobah, fucking whatever. But Grievous and Anakin can't be in the same room together.
I mean, that's also just Star Wars in a nutshell. We're gonna pick a fucking throwaway line to make a film about to rectify this, but then all of the other insanely obvious, shitty, stupid plot holes are going to get left by the wayside to be filled in by Reddit users. It's like the creators of Star Wars don't even fucking care why the logo of one ship's manufacturer is on another ship that clearly was made by this other manufacturer. Like, it's like they don't even give a shit.
It's true.
God, what a dumb fucking conversation that was. I hated that so. So it's like, what do we think this is? Because this wing looks like this. And so it's like, well, this logo is on it. They're like, yeah, but that wing looks like this. It's like, guys, come on, man. I know that's why we're here, but like, it's a bit much.
All right, now I gotta get into Lego Star Wars because I gotta see Obi-Wan in a Hawaiian shirt. Which is
Hell
a thing
yeah.
Lego Star Wars does, apparently.
I was pretty big into Lego Star Wars back in the day. Played a lot of that with my brother.
Well, not the games. Like, there's a show.
Oh, there was a fucking show? I didn't know that. Did I know that? Is it like shorts?
Something. I don't know. Maybe. It's like a 4-part miniseries.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be why it just never got on the radar.
And it came out in 2024 at the end of the year. That was the thing. Like, like, what's the most recent fucking Star Wars thing? There's like Lego Star Wars stuff.
Hell yeah. They know where the money is.
Oh, there are like four Lego Star Wars series. I see. Rebuild the Galaxy is the most recent one. There's Droid Tales from 2015, The Resistance Rises from 2016, and The Freemaker Adventures from 2016 to 2017.
Nice.
There's a Lego Star Wars Holiday Special.
Ugh. Of course. I mean, that's kind of a given.
There's
honestly.
Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation from 2022. That's probably where Obi-Wan's
Yeah,
wearing a shirt.
I imagine.
I think that has like a lot of
Have they?
Force ghosts talking to sequel trilogy characters or whatever,
Nice.
hanging out. Have they what?
I was wondering, for some reason, I thought maybe they did a Star Wars What If. But they haven't done
There was
that.
there was some Lego Star Wars What If thing.
Oh,
they
is
did
that
Darth
it? That's
Jar
what.
Jar.
Because that right? Okay. Because I remember, I'm like, I
Lego
vaguely
Star Wars
recall,
did Darth Jar Jar.
I
That's
was
the only thing I know about Lego Star Wars.
That's right. Because I remember being upset about Darth Jar Jar, but I couldn't remember where. That's probably why you talk about Lego Star Wars stuff triggered that notion. Because I was just thinking it would be cool if we got like a Star Wars Visions, but it was What If and it was good. Because like there's a lot of cool What Ifs in Star Wars,
Just
man.
What if? Just want the What If where Ahsoka and Anakin like fucking get confronted back in the day, you know?
Yeah.
I
Wait,
don't think
Ahsoka and
anybody
Anakin or
else.
Padme and Anakin?
Ahsoka?
Confronted. What do you mean?
Well, like Ahsoka has to deal with like Anakin when he's like going evil. But,
Oh.
like at the beginning of it, not like Darth
Yeah,
Vader.
that's not the what if we're fucking getting. You know that the what if is gonna be like, what if R2D2 was a Jedi? You know exactly what that.
Oh, you
whole
can't do
thing
that.
would be.
Droids don't have the Force. That's new canon. Only Legends canon allow droids to be Force sensitive. Come on, don't be ridiculous.
What if R2D2?
There's that part where when Yoda's going with R2, where Yoda's like, "You can't see any of this, can you?" And R2's like, "Fucking no." That's why he's to leave R2 behind. R2
what
can't see it.
if-
He can't see
what
the Force
if
because he's a
Yo-
droid.
what
Droids
if-
don't
what
have
if-
souls.
What if R2 gets exposed to microorganisms that are it's like scavengers, and they fuse with his circuitry, and allows the cosmic and living force to enter his circuits and give him a perception of the blah 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 blah.
Look, in
You're
my
welcome.
canon, R2's Force sensitive, obviously. Obviously. It's not even a question. But I'm just saying, canon-wise, this is not true.
All right, so the what if is what if droids were force sensitive? Boom, done, fixed it. We just had to go a step higher.
Okay. And then it's just the, whatever, R5 sacrificing himself. So R2
Yeah, it's
can
just
jump on.
that story again.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, it's
literally that
perfect.
story.
That's why we're here.
My other thing
What
is,
if
people
Anakin
who are,
lost
who
that
are really
pod
force
race?
sensitive are the people who say, I have a bad feeling about this. That's being force sensitive. And Qui-Gon never fucking says he has a bad feeling about this, and that's why he sucks.
He doesn't
He
have
never-
it. Maybe the dude just doesn't have bad feelings.
He doesn't.
Maybe
Yeah, because he doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
maybe the shitty
clouded.
Jedi, maybe the shitty Jedi are the ones who say they have a bad feling about this. Maybe the good Jedi are the ones who are just vibing.
No, because they're clouded by the dark side. They don't know how close the evil is or whatever. And then in the regular trilogy, all our heroes are saying they have a bad feeling about this all the time because they're fucking on the Force is like fucking on their side. Because they're the good guys. They're heroes.
I mean, they took the whole like notion in the sequel trilogy of how, what was it, End of Last Jedi, where like the kid has the Force grabs the broom and it's like, oh, anybody can be Force, like that whole. They took that to extremes because now it's literally fucking everybody, everybody.
Look, the kid grabbing the broom is pretty lame. It's probably like it's one of the lamest parts of that movie, but
Not, and it still
also,
manages to be
also
less
it still
lame.
should be anybody. It's not like
No, the problem
like,
is
the part where it's like only in your bloodline. Also, that sucks.
the problem.
That's not cool.
The problem is that now the anybody, it makes it seem like it could be just like any random person, but instead anybody is previously established character that was not Force sensitive is now a Jedi,
Yeah,
which
that
has
one's
happened. I hate
Yeah.
that shit.
That's true, but that also goes back well into Legends.
Yeah,
Fucking what's
it sucked then too.
what's the main character of those video games?
Kyle
Kyle
Katarn.
Katarn. Yeah.
Katarn,
Kyle
Katarn.
Katarn is the initial fucking what if Han Solo was Luke Skywalker character. Where they have their cool smuggler character, and they're like, but what if he were a Jedi?
Yeah, but
He
was
got
he an
Force
established
powers.
character? Was he like an established character that they just turned into a Jedi?
Over the
Or
course
was
of
he
several
created?
games, he wasn't a Jedi in the first games he was in. He was a smuggler character,
Oh, and then he. I see.
and then they kept making games, and then they made him a Jedi.
Okay.
Get
I
Force
gotcha.
powers in later games.
Yeah, that's like kind of lame. I'd be upset going either way if I was playing a game specifically. Like if I'm starting a game as like a cool smuggler shooter type and I end up as a Jedi, I'm like, I didn't really want to get here. If I'm starting as a Jedi and you make me use a gun, I'm gonna be unhappy, or a Sith or anything. Sith using a gun could go kind of hard.
Yeah. Well, the Sith use giant they use. They're known for building giant guns using crystals.
Yeah, but that's just a lightsaber, but kind of different.
It's just a fucking Death Star.
One of the main characters in Rebels has a lightsaber gun. It's actually kind of sick. They did it, and it works out.
What if you stuck a lightsaber onto a spaceship? That's sick.
I mean, look, Star Wars Visions Season 1 still clears like 99% of Star Wars content.
I'm referencing a thing in Andor.
Oh. The lame version, okay.
Wow.
I see. Oh, I'm sorry, was Andor animated by Studio Trigger? Then it's the lame version.
Andor is so fucking good.
But it could be the lame version of that concept.
No, because that scene is so fucking good.
Nah.
Fire. Look, I watched Clone Wars. I did my fucking homework.
I'm not doing my homework. I will not be reciprocating. At least not anytime. I shouldn't say never, but like the urge is still
Guy just
zero.
doesn't want to watch a good TV show.
If
Like,
only
it's
it
just
weren't
good.
Star Wars. You could have gaslit me into thinking it's not Star Wars. Just send me the version without any of the Star Wars like logo, like intro logo or anything. Like I would have never fucking known apparently, or I would have caught on too late. I would have been like, that son of a bitch. I would have been. The funny part is if that had somehow managed to happen, I would have spent the however long it took me to realize being like, yo, this is kind of like Star Wars, but if it was like really fucking good. Unfortunately, we're not in that timeline, so it already says Star Wars, and I'm just like, eh. Star Wars is lightsabers, though.
Yeah, that's why you want to watch fucking. I can't even remember the name of that show now. Acolyte. That's the
But that's the one with
lightsaber
like
show.
the babies, isn't it?
No, that's Skeleton Crew.
Oh, right.
That's the pirate show. That one kind of isn't
I don't
Star
even-
Wars. That's like a pirate show.
I don't even fucking remember what Acolyte was, except for like people said like it had the like it was like a whodunit thing, sort of, right? It had like a different tone or something. That's all I remember people talking about before it came out.
Yeah, but it has like one of the coolest lightsaber fights ever.
Yeah, but see,
Like regardless of what I want to say, like I don't think it's a great show. But if what you care about is lightsabers, it has a fucking good lightsaber fight.
I don't care about
If
lightsabers.
you're gonna ignore the
that much. I
good
need the
show
package.
that doesn't have
the-
a good lightsaber
I
fight,
need the
which is Andor,
package. I need the
Now you want
package to be good too.
the
I'm picky.
mediocre show that has a great lightsaber fight.
No, it needs to be good and good. I can't. I'm picky.
I don't know. You watch Clone Wars.
It's unfortunately you would have a stronger argument if I hadn't already got like the best fight in Daima. So it just doesn't, I'm full. I'm stuffed. I rewatched that fight way too many times. I couldn't possibly do another.
And a bonus.
Ah. God. Daima is so funny, man. I ate my words so fucking hard on that shit. Well,
Honestly, Daima, I just think about the post-credit scene all the time. That's the one lives in my brain.
like at the
freaking
very
out
end.
about the bugs that will make her
Yeah,
skin
yeah,
young,
yeah.
and then them finding the other eye. Like, I'm just
The other two eyes.
yeah, the other two eyes. They're just losing their minds, screaming. It's so good. It was the perfect ending to a thing.
Yeah. No, that
Like, I
it was
mean,
incredible.
like Ahsoka standing in before the fucking graves of all the clone troopers that fucking were her boys that she had to murder.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. But what if there were two eyes?
What if there were two eyes and everybody was freaking out and then cut? You know?
What if you ended on a joke?
It's a
Funny.
solid strat. Yeah. Speaking of ending, we have been yapping for like 2 hours and
Yeah, we
20
talked about all this stuff, I think.
yeah, we
We'll
got
talk
through
about
it.
Star Wars again someday.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the Clone Wars 2003 stuff.
Yeah.
Presumably
See,
they will
Kiadi
make.
Mundi be cool for the only time in his life.
But what about the attack on the Wookiees? What are you talking about? That was the coolest part of that film.
Yeah, but he wasn't shirtless.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh, I'm so in. Oh baby.
No, there's so much of that show that's like pulling from like adventure novel covers. Just like
Hell
looking
yeah,
sick.
man. That's what I'm here for.
Because
I mean, the real
in my head, that's what the Clone Wars were. It's like classic adventure serials of like an era.
yeah.
But it's not what and that's not what the new Clone Wars show is. So that was why I was always sort of like whatever on it. I was also part of it, I think, because to me, Clone Wars is like those are adventure serial books that just don't exist. But I mean, they do exist because it's Legends or whatever. But meh.
Yeah.
It is very funny, like the Legends conceptions of the Clone Wars, and like writers just trying to figure out what it means without having any idea what George intended.
Yeah, and that's cool because some of them have good ideas.
It's true.
Also,
Or
when they
Georges were kind of boring, honestly. But I
Yeah.
like it as a history. It like makes for a good structure thing for which someone to make a different show. I don't know.
dude, even
I do think it works out.
even reading like the reading the original novelization of like the original film is so fucking funny. It's so like political. Like it's taken like the angle of like he overtook the Senate at like working his way up through the like it just focuses on the weirdest shit. It's so funny. It's good.
Yeah.
I think it's good, but like they just
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know. Yeah.
It's just a different vibe from like what the movies are.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yep.
saltcirclepodcast@gmail.com. Saltcirclepod on Twitter. Salt Circle, Bluesky.social. Saltcirclepod.bsky.social. I'm on Twitter and Bluesky at Comic Panels. Bluesky.social. We're on YouTube at Salt Circle. It's links in the description.
I'm on YouTube at Drathius.
Hell
You can
yeah.
watch my 6-hour video of going through Hank's MTG bulk.
Hell yeah. May the force be with you.